Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at some more of the stocks that were in play today. So yeah, with the markets being up 200 points, there were quite a few stocks that were running and had good chart setups, and so we're going to take a look at a few more here in this video. I'm going to try to go over it quickly. And so first up is CDTI. Okay, so this stock had a giant volume spike. As you can see, it has a history of big spikes, and the move today was above the middle Bollinger Band, dotted purple line, the 50-day simple moving average, and the 100-day simple moving average. So it broke several key levels. It did close above the upper Bollinger Band. So if the candles work back in the band, you want to see that this gold line hold, the 100-day simple moving average. You want to see the $2 support level hold. If it drops below that, it could pull back to test that 50-day simple moving average. To the upside, the two key levels to break are the 200 and 300-day simple moving averages. If you see a close above 253, above this 300-day simple moving average, and that level turns into support, then that would signal more upside potential. As you can see, there's been this multi-month descending resistance line that was broken today, and so that level is a key level to turn into support. Notice there was also a close above high close resistance, so 220 is a really big level. If it can stay above 220, then it could push up here to 250, get above 250, and it could run back up into the threes. Okay, let's take a look at VII. Okay, yeah, this stock is heating up down here. It had a close today above the 100-day simple moving average and above the 200-day simple moving average. The 200-day simple moving average is at 46, and so now you want to see the share price stay above that level. It's currently hitting this descending resistance line. It needs to break next above the 300-day simple moving average. That is the blue line here. It's currently at 51. So if it can get above 51, that would signal more upside potential, and then you'd want to see a break above the high close first here in August, which is just above that level. And if you can get above that, then you're talking about a run possibly back up to this 59.60 level, which was the closing price here on the 9th. So yeah, so this chart's heating up. The close above the 200-day simple moving average is signaling more upside potential. It just has to break that 50 resistance zone and close above the 300-day simple moving average. Okay, let's look at SCON. Okay, nice move above 50 on RSI and above 50 on FASTO. So they're both in the bull zone with room to run. Notice that the ADX looks good here with plus DI above ADX, which is and also above minus DI. Notice how they're both pointing up. So the chart's really heating up here. There was a recent big volume spike. Look at the big volume last week. And the share price pulled back. It held support. It had been turning the green line and the dotted purple line into support. That's the 50-day simple moving average in the middle Bollinger Band. Currently 109 is the big level to hold. Notice it's breaking above this multi-month descending resistance line. So it broke that temporarily on this big volume spike, and then today it finally closed above that level. It's hitting the next key resistance level to break. That's the 100-day simple moving average at 120. If it can break above that, this high close here in October is the next key level at 127. So above 120, then 127. If it could break 127, then you're looking at a run up to the 200-day simple moving average at 137. So yeah, those volume spikes are signaling that it has some upside potential. Okay, take a look at AMPE. This stock has been on a really nice uptrend. So for people that have 9-to-5s, that have that don't want to be glued to their computer screen all day, this is the kind of chart that you're looking for a multi-month type swing trade. If you look back here, back in August, the end of August, the middle Bollinger Band turned into support, and then here at the beginning of September, the 50-day simple moving average. The middle Bollinger Band is this dotted purple line, which is also the 20-day simple moving average, and then the green line, which is the 50-day simple moving average, that turned into support as well. And that signaled the start of this uptrend. And then notice how the candles just continued riding, always holding this lime colored line. There was a little close below here. When it came down, it was holding this EMA 13, and the share price got really tight here. Notice how there's this sideways channel had formed for the last few weeks with a ascending triangle type pattern here. So you've got the the candles. Okay, so we're inside of a channel that was sideways, but at the same time you have this rising higher lows, so it forming an ascending triangle pattern, and then there was a break above that on the 13th. So this close above on the 13th was signaling more upside potential, and then because this was the close above the high close resistance, the top of the channel, which the high close level was the closing price here on the 30th. That's the closing price on the candle, and that formed the top of the channel. So when there was a close above that level on the 13th, that was your clue the chart was heating up. And then finally today it broke out above that level. Notice it was on a volume spike. MACD on the 12, 26, and 9 is pinched and starting a bullish crossover, and a bullish crossover started on the 8, 13, and 5. And then also on the 13th there was a PSAR bull flip. Notice the green dots flip below the candles. So these are all signals the charts are heating up. And then also look at the 50-day simple moving average here. It had crossed over the 100-day simple moving average, and then it came up and it crossed over the 200-day simple moving average, this red line, which is the golden cross, and then above the 300-day simple moving average. So these are all signals that the chart has been building strength. And what you do when the stock is breaking out, you got to look at you need to look at the weekly chart to find the next resistance levels, and look how this shows you that it's coming up right to the key level, the gold line here, which is the 100-day simple moving average currently at 138. And so it needs to close above that level for the week to head higher. If it fails to do that, notice how it's hitting this key resistance level, the close from this big drop, and then the closing price from back here in June of 2016. It's trying to break above that level now, and then it's hitting a major moving average. If it can close above the 100-week moving average for the week, that would signal more upside potential. And then you're talking about these prior support levels, okay, in this 175 to $2 range. If it can get above that, then it could possibly run back up to the 300-week moving average. The top of this channel, notice how it's been in this channel heading down, and so it's currently heading towards the top, but more in the in the middle towards the top. The top of the channel is up here on these candles here, and so the top of the channel now would put it back up here in that 225 range. So yeah, so this is a really nice uptrend. Notice how it broke above the middle Bollinger Band back here in September. That signaled the start of the uptrend, and then the close above the 50-week moving average there the first week of October signaled that it wanted to head higher. It's just been riding EMA4 support ever since, this entire time since it closed above EMA4 back in August. This is the really good swing trade, multi-month swing trade type pattern that a lot of people are looking for a stock that they can just ride for a while. This is the type of chart that you're looking for, this type of pattern. And then if it closes below EMA4 currently at 120, that's your signal that it's going to possibly cool down, and then you can lock in gains and look for that reload lower. If it breaks above that 100-week simple moving average, that's going to be a signal that it wants to head higher. Okay, so the China stocks have been running, and this has been the week of the China runners. There's been one every day, it's more than one every day, and we're keeping an eye here on China Resource Development, CHNR. The chart looks a little interesting here. It's got this RSI in the bull zone. It had a bullish crossover on Fasto, so neither one are at overbought levels, so they have room to run, and it's actually in an uptrend here. And the candles are above the middle Bollinger Band, and it's trading above all the moving averages. Okay, so if you notice down here, here's the 100, the 200, the 300, and the 50-day simple moving averages, all between 2 and 219. And then you have the 20-day simple moving average, which is the middle Bollinger Band here at 233. And then you have EMAs 13, 8, and 4, and the candle today closed above that level. It's above all the moving averages. This is as bullish as it gets. It's not a super, it's in this kind of sideways. It is heading higher, but it's slowly heading higher. You can see here, it hasn't broke out yet. Or if it's going to, we don't know if it's going to, but it hasn't made the big breakout. It keeps pulling back, and so if you look here, it's got this channel going, and so it is in this uptrend. And if you look back here on the the 9th, there was this huge run up to 325. And so the run up to 325, there was a big pullback, and you can see the big volume bar formed. And so a lot of times that's profit, profit taking for sure, and it could be dilution. This is what dilution looks like on a chart when they pull it back. The interesting thing is it held support here. It stayed within the channel, and it's still pushing higher. And so sometimes when you see this setup, they pulled it back so people could load for the next push higher. And so we'll see if that's the case here. The big thing is going to be this closing price right here on the 9th. It's currently at about 266. If it closes above that level, that should be the signal it wants to break out higher. It would have to stay above that level, and then you want to see it break above this ascending resistance line, and then it could run back up into the threes. If you look here at the weekly chart, you could see on the weekly chart it's bullish as well. It closed above the middle Bollinger Band and the 50-week moving average in the first week of October, and it's been above the middle Bollinger Band for multiple weeks in a row. This looks like 7 weeks in a row above that level. So it's almost 2 months or 8 weeks nearly of being above this 7, so it's 7 weeks of being above the middle Bollinger Band. It's a signal that it's in an uptrend, and it broke above the 200-week moving average last week, and it's going for another close above that this week. So it's turning the 200-week moving average into support. It looks like now it could run up and test this high close in November. The weekly, the close right here at 3, that would be the next target if it stays above the 200-week moving average. And if it gets above 3, it could possibly run back up to this 300-week moving average at 342. Yeah, and this is the volume spike, and then it's pushing higher after the volume spike. So yeah, it's been in this sideways channel, and the top of the channel is 3. So we'll see if it can head back up there and possibly break out above. Okay, let's look at BIOC. Okay, this is a dead cat bounce play, possibly. It's been just in a nasty downtrend. You can see up here it started heading south, and then it really got going when it dropped again below the middle Bollinger Band. And so the candles have been riding this pink line lower. There were a couple closes here above that level, but it continued down, and there was a gap down to 80. Today it bounced. It closed right at just right at that EMA4 level. That's the pink line. If it can get above that level, it could possibly run up here to EMA8, or possibly up to the bottom of the gap, up to 80 cents. So keep an eye on it. What makes it kind of interesting are the 2 big volume spikes here. A lot of times you see that down at the bottom when people load before it gets a nice bounce and reversal. So yeah, we'll see if it can break EMA4. And then if you look at URG here, the uranium plays have been the nefarious metals plays have been also in play as well. They've been moving, and lithium has been really hot. There's been a lot of over-the-counter lithium stocks running, and so here we've got a URG with the close here right above the 200-day simple moving average. That's the red line here, currently at 62 cents. So it closed just above that level. It needs to turn that level into support. If it can, then the closing price here on the what is that, the 11th, will be the next key level to break, right at about 65. And if it can get above 65 there, then you're looking at a possible run up here to 70, 71, 72, up here to the July high close. So if it can turn this 200-day simple moving average support, that would be very bullish. It's currently above all the moving averages. So once again, you have the 50, the 100, the 300. It just closed just above the 200. It's breaking this long ascending resistance line, a multi-month ascending resistance line. It's trying to break above that pattern. And so, yeah, we're going to see if that could head higher. If you look at another uranium stock, UEC, it's been breaking out above the moving averages as well. And so here it is trading above the middle Bollinger Band, the 50, 300, 100, and 200-day simple moving averages. The close today above the 100 and 200-day simple moving averages is bullish. There is a gap, between high of day yesterday and low of day today. So if it fails to break resistance, then it could pull back and fill that gap. You want to see it stay above the 100-day simple moving average at 140, and then the next key level to break is 150. That was the high of day today. If it can close above that level, then it could run back up to 175. That was the recent top back here in July. So yeah, so this has been trying to reverse. Notice the volume, it's got the big volume spikes down here. So yeah, we'll see if it can stay above that 200-day simple moving average. And then a couple more to leave you with. NWBO. This chart is actually heating up. It's got the nice close today above the 50-day simple moving average. Notice how tight the Bollinger Bands were. This consolidated sideways in a super tight channel for several weeks, and then today it finally broke out of that channel. It closed above the 50-day simple moving average at 17, and then it closed right below the 100-day simple moving average, basically at 19. If it can close above 19, then it could run up to this 200-day simple moving average at 22. Notice that is lined up with the high close. Get above the 200-day simple moving average, and you have the 29 level, which is the high close from back here in July, and then you have the 300-day simple moving average at 35. Notice it was the largest volume day since back here in September, and yeah, the chart's just heating up. And so it looks like it could push higher. There was a PSAR bull flip as well. And then for the last chart, here's RNVA. This is a semiconductor stock, which has been doing well. But this one, yeah, this one's been bad news. It dropped down to the OTC. And I don't know if they're going out of business or what's happening, but it's just getting completely destroyed. It's been riding this EMA4 resistance for months now, and it's been trying to break above that level. It hasn't closed above EMA4, and since back here, it looks like you have to go back in August possibly, maybe right here it closed above in the beginning of September, but it's been a long time, and so it closed right at that level today at 16. If it breaks above 16, then that could mean that this thing's finally going to bounce and make a little rally. So keep an eye on it. I've just been watching every day, just to see if it's gonna break above resistance. It just keeps dropping lower. Yeah, one day this thing might bounce, so yeah, put it on the radar. All right, thank you for viewing this video. If you'd like to learn more about charts and technical analysis, check us out at MyChartCoach.com and our YouTube channel at MyChartCoach.com. Thank you.